Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Module 1 in our learning path on navigating the federal software sales market. We just want to take a quick minute to review some of the important lessons we learned throughout this module and then give a quick preview about Module 2. All right, our first point is to know the rules. It really is a process-driven federal marketplace. If you know the rules of the game, you can bend them to your advantage. Appreciate the roles. There's going to be a lot of fingerprints on a government contract. There's a lot of people that are involved in the process. Learn how to communicate with all of these prospects, and you'll be able to maximize the value of each relationship that you make. Understand the Bycicle. Listen, it can take a lot of time for an opportunity to work its way through the process. You need to be prepared for quick turn opportunities when they arise, especially late in the fourth quarter of the fiscal year. Map out your sales strategy. Federal sales is not radically different from commercial sales at the end of the day, but the devil really is in the details. You can't win this game if you don't adapt your playing style to the unique rules and procedures of this market. Know what to say and when to say it. Communications change as you move through the procurement cycle. They are never more open than they are in the planning phase. So the earlier you identify a prospect, the better off you'll be. Anticipate long courtships. There are many levels of decision makers and stakeholders who you'll need to win over in order to influence what the government buys. There's also folks that can veto what it buys entirely. So sometimes it can take a lot of time from identifying that first prospect to actually closing the deal. Read the solicitation. Never ever presume, no matter how hard you've worked or how many relationships you've developed, that you've got it in the bag. The only way to ensure you are in a position to win a contract is to submit an acceptable offer, and the solicitation is going to tell you how to do that. Expect barriers. Listen, there's a lot of friction that exists between a customer's need and the ultimate contract that gets awarded. You need to be aware of the technical, budget, and contracting barriers so that you can work your way through them when they do arise. Now, here's some things that you don't want to do. Don't wine and dine. Government employees cannot accept gifts greater than $25, so comping dinner and drinks is not appropriate. Now, it is still acceptable to socialize and build relationships outside of the office, but the best thing to do is stick to a 50-50 split rule of thumb. Split those checks, take those receipts, pay for what you got, let your prospect pay for what they got. Trust me, it might feel awkward at first, but most federal employees, they know that drill, and that's kind of what they expect. Don't get fixated on your commercial success. Government buyers are interested in how solutions have been successful at other federal agencies. Case studies from the corporate world or your earnings statements from Wall Street, those are going to be valued less than case studies from how your software supports public sector clients. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Competition rules in the federal procurement world are designed to give every competitor a fair opportunity, and the end users you have a relationship with will have limited ability at the end of the day to sway that decision of the contracting officer because it is a process-driven market. And just don't give up. It's a long road, and it can be an opaque and confusing market, but you can win. After all, there's nearly $5 billion in software spending up for grabs each year. Now that you have this overview of the federal marketplace, you'll be able to continue along our learning path with a little bit more context and awareness of what happens in the federal marketplace and prepare yourself to get that elusive first contract. Now, coming up in Module 2, we're going to look at 3 primary objectives. Number 1 is going to be finding and identifying your sales channels. Where are your customers and where are they buying? And then how do you communicate with them once you have identified a sales channel? This will be more about specifically communicating to them, designing marketing capital that will resonate with them, understanding their strategic priorities, etc. Also explaining your value. How do you communicate your value to the government buyer and the government requirements owner? It is a little different and it's a little bit nuanced. So those are the primary objectives that we'll cover in Module 2, but we're also going to be talking about some of the things that you're challenged by. So we've been observing you throughout this learning path, looking at your comments, engaging with your feedback, and that's going to inform our Module 2 content as well because this is a formative and adaptive learning path. So thank you for joining us again in Module 1. We are looking forward to Module 2, and we can't wait to get started with you there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.